Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me Shekhar as we cover Prime Minister's trip to Srirangam and many other temples in the south. Tug heart, gut wrenching. It'll tug the strings of your heart when you see these videos. First of all, please, may I request all of you to like this video, and also if you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. This is the third leg of our triple header today. We've been very busy, as you know. I'm sure you've watched the global roundup with Sree Iyer. Then we talked about the cultural renaissance of Ram Mandir, and now we are going to take some specific looks at Prime Minister's trip to Srirangam and other places. Here we go. Let's welcome the guest of the evening, Sri Shekhar Iyer ji. Shekhar ji, Ram Ram, Namaskar. How are you, sir?
Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Shekhar ji, Ram Ram.
Sir, I had an opportunity to look at the video slides that we have put together. First, let us play the one based on the rag Megh, M-E-G-H. Viewers, listen to this song, listen to the tune, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the tune. But this is Srirangam today. Go for it. And that was Megh. And those of you who are connoisseurs of music, you might have heard the song 𝗠liche 𝗲𝗍𝙑, 𝗤𝙪 Badur. So, Shekhar ji, let us set the ball rolling. There is one more compelling video that we are going to share with you in just a few minutes, but I just want the first opening statements from Shekhar Iyer ji. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shekhar ji. Thank you. We are just 2 days away from the main day, January 22nd. And what we saw today was indeed very, very touching, in the sense that Prime Minister, he's the first Prime Minister to visit Ranganatha-swami Kovil in Srirangam. And it was some kind of an emotional and spiritual experience, both for the people of Srirangam as well as for the Prime Minister himself. So Prime Minister even tweeted the kind of reception he got, people lining up on the streets as he went to the temple and he came out of the temple. And keeping with the traditions associated with the temple, there was no live coverage of his presence in the before the deity, but his movement around the temple was captured. And here you can see the crowds on the streets of Srirangam. I mean, that's indeed a very, very emotional thing. And our editor Sachin would like to show it to us. This shows the kind of fervor that has gripped either north or south. here it is for us to see the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of, people are as if it's Lord Ram is returning to Ayodhya kind of scenes. People are cheering and they are from different sections of the society. And he's the first prime minister to visit this temple, which is several centuries old. Prime Minister spent a long time in the temple. He listened to a recital of the Kamba, and it's situated the same spot where the great Tamil poet Kamban had actually recited his version of the Ramayana. So Prime Minister also was greeted by Andal, the elephant we saw in the earlier slide. I believe that Andal even played some music with the help of a mouth organ, and the Prime Minister was really, surprised by this elephant, which is named after Andal. Andal is a great devotee of the Lord, who finally merged with the Lord, and her poems, her lyrics are always read during the months, that is the Margari month. Now the Thai has come, so one can see that kind of festival mood in Sri Rangam. Now, after Sri Rangam, the Prime Minister flew by a helicopter to Rameshwaram. And Rameshwaram, he took a dip in the sea as per the tradition, and then he went into the temple and had the snanam from the 22 teeths, that are the 22 wells that are there inside the Rameshwaram temple. Then subsequently, he also had a darshan of the Ramanatha Swami, which is the main deity, presiding deity at Rameshwaram. And this is the temple which the temple came up after Prabhu Ram, worshipped Lord Shiva before his excursion to Sri Lanka to vanquish Ravana. And the legend goes that the shivling there is actually made up of sand. And that Adi Shankara also went there, and later he also installed a Spadika Lingam there. So that place is, and Rameshwaram and Kashi, sir, are considered two places, and these two are among the seven moksha puris. I mean, places, gateways to moksha, to liberation, which is the ultimate, the goal of every Sanatana Dharmi, whichever path he chooses, whether it is bhakti or jnana or as a karma yogi. The ultimate is liberation from this cycle of births and deaths. So the Prime Minister heard the renderings of several bhajans, Ram bhajans. Later, he also sat through a cultural show where Ram bhajans from different parts of the country, from Assam, from different Maharashtra, they were all rendered in his presence. Later, the Prime Minister has since retired to this Ramakrishna mission in Rameshwaram. He's staying overnight in Rameshwaram, and tomorrow morning he is going to Dhanishkodi, where there is a Kodandarama temple. And after that, from Dhanishkodi, he will again return by helicopter to Madurai. And from Madurai, he'll directly fly to Ayodhya, because he is going to reach there by tomorrow evening. That is the evening, he will reach there on 21st evening. And from there, he wants to be a day ahead of the great day, that is January 22nd. That is, he wants to be the tomorrow night itself, where he'll spend time in Ayodhya, and the next day is the great consecration or the Prana Pratishta. So you can see.
These are all scenes from the Ramanatha Swami temple in Rameswaram. And this is the longest temple corridor in the world. Go back, please. This is the longest corridor in the world. I don't remember the exact dimensions, but it's in Guinness Book of World Records.
And this is one place which has been photographed by several families over generations. There, the Prime Minister is receiving the prasada or prasadam. And in fact, people from whom I spoke to in Rameshwaram as well as in Srirangam, they were all actually touched by the kind of devotional approach of the Prime Minister. Because there is a criticism going around, this is a kind of a drama, this is a show of religiosity, especially with an eye on election. And This will mark the end of the separation between the the religion and the politics, things like that. But those who have actually seen the prime minister in the temple today offering his prayers, it was like any faithful, like any devotee. And he was not in a rush or a hurry. He was observing the ambience, was observing the chants that was being said before him, all the mantras, all the chanting of slokas, he heard it. And the big question, sir, Shri, which is, I think, the debate as the D-Day appears dearer. The question that everybody is asking is secularism, meeting its death? Is it the end of the kind of politics we have seen hitherto, which the BJP's Advaniji once used to characterize as pseudo secularism? Or is it the end? I think the bigger question is it the kind of secularism that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru imposed on this country over and above the traditional secular approach of this great land, Bharatavarsha, which is what Sarva Dharma Sambhav, to respect all religion. But we have seen politics since Nehru's period, which has resulted in, somehow playing down the Hinduism or the Hindu rituals or Hindu traditions, at the same time trying to glorify all that has happened in the medieval period. And that is the reason why the politics has taken the course it has taken, and finally reached a point where the consecration of Ram temple, besides being a very important, I would say, a milestone in the journey of this nation, it will also mark an end to the kind of politics we have seen thus far. Sherji, as I am seeing now, Congress is already in a grip of a severe internal crisis. A Gujarat MLA has resigned, protesting against the stand of the party in boycotting the consecration. In Bihar, I do not know what is the message of this. A stage set up by the ruling RJD leaders, that stage collapsed after a leader had given a speech criticizing the Pran Pratishtha, making the locals wonder whether this is a divine retribution. That's viral on the social media. But the big question is, did the Congress do the right thing? This is the question that people are asking. Because all that noises you have heard against this consecration have been generated by sympathizers of the Congress. Shriyarji, people who would not bother about Shankaracharyas, who consider themselves as most agnostic, fashionably agnostic, and people who used to make laugh at all astikas. Today, they are more worried about how can you do ritual here, was the necessity of this date, you could have done it later. All driven by this fear that this particular event will change the face of Indian politics, will change the face of the way we have been intellectually dishonest with some of our own traditions. When I say we, I mean the political class and the so-called liberal class, which has been affiliated to this political class for several reasons. So this is a moment of reckoning, Shreyarji, because even after the temple ceremony is over, when we meet again, we will be still talking about this, the impact of this event, the impact of this consecration on our politics, impact of this consecration on our Lok Sabha elections. That's a question in everybody's mind. Now, if you look at the guest list, there are people from across all walks of life. Yes, the judiciary has been invited. Chief Justice of Supreme Court of India has been invited. There are several others who have been invited. And already people are saying, should the Chief Justice go? As if there was a bar on participating in these things. As if one has to wear your secularism on your sleeves. You see, basically, sir, we as a nation have respected, because we are a nation of seekers. We are not a nation of believers. Everyone who wanted to seek a journey to himself or herself, the inner journey, and they have, come with their own parampara, because whatever one seeks and one gets, the ambrosia, as I would call it, in the spiritual tradition, one wants to share. That's why you have so many spiritual masters. You have so many yogics and mystics in this country who, whatever they discovered for themselves, they wanted to share. This has been this land. But unfortunately, the Nehru brand of secularism, which we saw right from the beginning, the Somnath temple inauguration, where Nehru and Babu Rajendra Prasad, our first president of India, were engaged in correspondence with Nehru, insisting that Babu Rajendra Prasad should not go. And this has been and since then we have seen, the constant, the being apologetic if you are visiting a temple, and no qualms if you are, celebrating festivals of other religions, or if you are even giving iftars or whatever. Sir, DMK leaders in particular, both Karunanidhi and Stalin, they thought it is some great secular principle because they don't wish people on Hindu festivals. Periyar, went on trashing Hindu practices and religions, but he never, and calling it was blind, this and that, but he dared not look at other religions. And when he was asked also, he used to say this is a tactical approach. Because the scare that if you were to touch on, step on the foot of other religions, then the problems would be severe. And the practice continued. And even today, Udayreddy says, oh, temple coming up is okay, but a mosque was destroyed or was completely removed. No, but these are all the issues that was gone into by the Supreme Court, and this temple is coming up on the basis of a court verdict. Sir, look at the plight of the Congress today. Congress leaders at individual level are saying we are going to visit the temple, and the Congress, the future of the Congress, that is Rahul Gandhi, he says even if I travel through Uttar Pradesh, I will not go to Ayodhya because it is not on my path. And we did the right thing by boycotting this consecration, because this is no consecration. All this Abhijit Murtha is all nothing. This is a BJP RSS show. Sir, what has happened is that there would not have been so much of politics without this resistance which was engineered by Congress. Bogus resistance, which is now hitting back. It is coming back to them. Because in the party, sir, as I mentioned, Gujarat MLA is going. Uttar Pradesh Congress leaders are very upset. Even other opposition leaders like Akhilesh Yadav, they have been very careful, very, very careful in what they are saying. They said, no, it's an important thing that has happened. And Arvind Kejriwal is, having Sundarakand recitations in different places. And the BJP, said, by Sundarakand to theek hai, lekin usme scam na ho jaye. In the name of recitation, you don't, grease somebody's palms. This is the kind of dig they are taking. Sir, but big thing is, as I see it, I think 5 years since, when next time you talk of the next Lok Sabha election, let's say in 2029, when there will be delimitation, there will be reservation for women. An issue like Ram Temple will mean that parties will have to re-examine the way they think, they are being secular by keeping a distance from one major religion than trying to appease others. Because I think that approach will be self-defeating. I don't think that approach will continue after the 2024 election. This will be the big change that the Ram Temple will bring. All these parties that swear by secularism, quote unquote, they will have to re-examine the way they go about it. Because a temple that has come up on the basis of a court verdict is now being challenged by political statements. And sir, Digvijay Singh, look at Digvijay Singh. He is even criticizing the vigra that has been done by done for this temple. He says that it doesn't look like Lord Ramchandra. It doesn't look like a baby Ram. Ram Lala nahi hai, dikhta nahi hai. But everybody has appreciated whatever pictures that has been circulated in the media, because we'll get to see the Murti, the Vigraha, after it is consecrated on January 22nd. But whatever steps that have come, indeed, Prabhu Ram looks very sweet as a boy. And the sculptor, he has been praised by everybody. He has earlier done this Adi Shankaracharya Murti at Kedarnath. and 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙀𝘆 Subhash statue, which is there in India Gate in Delhi. Now, what I am looking at it, sir, is it was right now. Prime Minister is not on a political mode, and he has been emphasizing, at least by his three statements, that let us not, let go of this moment by our, our petty kind of quarrels or into this. Let us be immersed in devotion. Let us be in complete thing, sir. But once the consecration is done, and Congress also, increases its discipline against this consecration and against the BJP, RSS, and the Prime Minister. See, around March 10th, I expect the Election Commission to announce the dates for the Lok Sabha elections. And after that, you are going to see, and the likely window that I see for the elections is between April 20th to May 20th. And the results, and it could be a 7-phase election, and the results could come around May 25th. Because last time it was May 23rd. More or less, Election Commission goes by the earlier calendar, excepting dates are changed. If some requests come, if they clash with festivals, because they have to take into account that this does not clash with the conduct of the school final examinations across the country, CBSE as well as state boards. They take care for them. Now, once country goes into election mode, that is the time you are going to hear the Prime Minister speak for the first time on how the Congress has behaved in this particular case. All that he had to say is, जो राम के लिए नहीं है वो किसी के नहीं है. That's all. That will carry a very powerful message. जो राम के नहीं है वो आपके कैसे हो सकते हैं, किसी के नहीं है. Sir, I am seeing also that this issue itself, as I said, it has already triggered. Some Congress leaders want to leave the party, and some have left the party. Some of them are sitting legislators. They have resigned their seat in Gujarat. So we are going to see more such reactions. And I do not know why Congress has adopted this. Congress in particular, because now it is clear it is a decision of Rahul Gandhi. And sir, they try to prop up Shankaracharyas whose position is disputed. The 𝗤𝗚𝘂𝗿 of the 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝘆. He has been giving interviews to all the left-leaning, websites and channels and YouTubes. At first time, I'm hearing a Shankaracharya, talk about Prime Minister, BJP, and things like that. Normally, the Shankaracharyas who hold a very exalted position in the Sanatan Dharma, they are highly respected. Even now, you would have seen, despite what has happened, the controversy generated by the Shankaracharya of 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝘆, whose own position is disputed because his elevation has been challenged is now the matter is before Supreme Court. People have not said anything much. They have said, look, this is completely different. Though it has been clarified several times, because once they talked about what is the need for consecration. Now, then they talked about, it's an incomplete temple. That argument also fell through. Where several examples were provided. Now they are talking about this murti does not represent, it doesn't look like Ram Lala, the Lord Ram in a boyish, being a boy. All these arguments are there, but then why is Congress at it like this? Have they taken a death wish with this kind of talk? And people, sir, at this moment, one has to just see it across India, sir, across India. You are having people take out Prabhat ferries, people are taking out early morning, despite the cold. I hear on the streets of Delhi and other places, Ramdun, early in the morning. And Delhi is quite cold now. And people are, singing and doing things. And many cities and towns in India are, you can see the flags aflutter. The flag of the Ram, with the picture of Ram. It's there all over, in all places, in all cities. Sir, it is, I think, we have not seen such an occasion, sir, before. We have celebrated our independence. We have celebrated our Republic Day. We have, India as a land of festival because we believe in celebration. We don't believe in mourning. And incidentally, Sanatan Dharma is one faith where We do not mourn. There is no day of mourning. It's all celebration. Even Lord Shiva, who is seen as the destroyer, even he is seen in a cosmic dance, celebrating the cycle that is there, that grips the universe. The creation, conservation or preservation, and finally dissolution. Now, this is the way we are, and I am seeing kind of enthusiasm, sir. And this is not political, because I am repeatedly saying this. They think that this has all been engineered. It has not been engineered, sir. I realize today that faith cannot be engineered. But what you resist will persist. Because the Congress is resisted, so have their supporters, their so-called, who consider themselves to be liberal, quote unquote. So constantly, what is happening? The faithful, the devotees are getting irritated. What the hell is this? This is now happening. Why do they want to appear? And sometimes they wonder, why is PM keeping silent? Why are these people even being allowed to say all this? And one Shankaracharya is there all over, regularly giving interviews, questioning all this. Unfortunately, he has brought the institution of Shankaracharya into disrepute by overtly playing a game plan of the Congress. Because after 𝗣𝙧𝙤𝘀𝘆 Singh raised about the Murti and about what happened to original, nothing has gone anywhere. It's all there. They will be installed in the place. The Shankaracharya has been saying the same thing. Avamukhteshwarananda. So I'm just wondering, sir, how we have reached a point where that in our politics, the Nehru's kind of secularism, that is finally going to get buried in the Ram temple. Sir.
Very true, sir. I couldn't agree with you more on that statement. Please continue, sir. Please continue.
So the question is, now look at Mamata Banerjee, sir. She is neither here nor there kind of situation. First, she turned down the invite because she thought her, almost 30% minority vote, that is the only way she can ensure it's safe. Otherwise, that vote may shift to Congress or the left. Then she realized, the Bengal also has its, quota of Lord Ram's impact. If you go to Murshidabad or other places, there are terracotta temples which have depictions of Lord Ram. Yes, Shakti worship is very important in Bengal, Bangladesh. Yes, Shakti is very important. But at the same time, this Bengal is also has witnessed Bhakti movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it has also, because of Vaishnav movement there, and it has gone up to Assam also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was standing Bhakti, but along with that, the Lord Ram also has been there. So now Mamata thinks how to do some balancing act. She says, "I'll go to Kali temple. I will take out a march from that famous Kali temple in Kalighat. Then I'll come to a point that is I'll come to Hazra. I mean, from Hazra, it's very important in the South Calcutta center. From there, she's going to take a march to Park Circus. Park Circus is a minority dominated area, but she says, I will visit every Gurdwara, every church on the way. Now, Subedhu Adhikari, the Bengal BJP leader, has challenged this, saying that we already have a program for January 22nd. We are putting up giant screens. Incidentally, there is going to be a giant screen in Times Square in New York also, which is going to show the consecration ceremony. Now, Mamata wants to show, look, I am also doing something. I mean, I am also visiting temple on that day. And Karnataka government has openly said that we have asked all the temples to conduct special prayers. D.K. Shivkumar, made an announcement. Sir, today, the irony, I'll tell you, sir. Prime Minister was still in Rameshwaram when DMK Youth Conference, because the conference is on January 21st. That's
24th.
that is,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, it is already happening. Today itself, they had a function, sir.
Oh, I
It's
see, I see,
21st.
I see.
So today evening, they had a motorcycle show. They had their whole cadres, march past and all that. But in television, Tamil channels, which some of them have deep allegiance to the ruling
The,
establishment, even they could not take their cameras off Rameshwaram. Consequently, event where Udayanidhi is, this is the second edition of the youth conference under Udayanidhi. So chief minister is in Salem, but I somehow found that it was lacking that fizz. Prime Minister, I mean, Chief Minister was there, Udayanidhi was there, Durga Stalin was there. But somehow the function, of course, today they had the torch handover ceremony. The torch was lit to mark the beginning of the youth conference tomorrow. But the year was missing. Somehow I felt it looked so without life. Because after what we are seeing in Ram Temple, and I was surprised that Tamil channels were showing Prime Minister in Rameshwaram rather than this, which I thought was a mandatory show. But somehow they felt that that was more exciting. And all that Prime Minister was doing was his eyes were closed in Dhyanam. So you are seeing, sir, even in Tamil Nadu things are changing. And very importantly, sir, this visit, this I before I move to the next subject, what I want to say is he stayed overnight in Chennai and where he met the BJP leaders, including Annamalai. And he has told them, go ahead and hold a meeting of the first time voters, those who have just turned 18 and who have enlisted themselves as first time voters, have a dialogue with them. And he said he's willing to join them on a virtual mode from Delhi on January 25th. He has told Annamalai, please organize a meeting of all these first time voters because they are fresh. It's easy to convince them of what we are doing, what we have done, and what are our plans for our country. And the same message he had for Kerala people also, Kerala BJP leaders. He said, get down to booth level. Because this booth level management has been actually key for BJP, particularly in the north.
Panna
When I
Pramukh.
say, yeah, Panna Pramukh is the person on every page. There is a person, Panna Pramukh means, Panna means page. Pramukh means the BJP as a worker, BJP allots a set of voters to be constantly. A Panna Pramukh is a person who constantly interacts with, say, 50 voters on a particular page of the poll list, electoral list. And that interaction is over a period of time. It's not just before elections. And that is how BJP grew in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Wherever you are seeing that BJP is dominating, wherever you see BJP as a strong organization, it is all those places where they focused attention on a non-sexy subject like booth management. I'm using the word non-sexy in this context because even the media did not tend to pay attention to this when BJP was working at it. They thought, kya hai Panna Pramukh and all that, electoral list, voter. But this is what exactly the BJP is good at, and this is what exactly that has made BJP what it is today. So the Prime Minister's message to Annamalai and to other BJP leaders was this: look, okay, you can have uh, at a A level, at a mega level, you can have a campaign against DMK, but you'll have to get down to the basics. You'll have to get down to the booth. You have to get your voters to come and vote. And that would require an interaction at the booth level, which means you have to develop a cadre at booth level. Whether it gives you results in 2021 or in 26 or even later, it doesn't matter. That's the Prime Minister's word. But we have to do this. And where we have done this, people have never given up on us. People have always returned to us. So I think this is a very important message. And also, sir, the Prime Minister has done another, I would say, a very, very important messaging by visiting all those places associated with Ramachandraji, Prabhu Ramachandraji, and whether it is in Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh, like he went to Lepakshi. So all the basic thing is to say, look, this Ayodhya is not a North Indian event. And as a pilgrim in progress. He went to all these places so that he is also carrying the good wishes and the blessings of all those sanctified and consecrated places to Ayodhya. Because today we are all through the day we have had television anchors in major English channels and Hindi channels telling their viewers what is the importance of Srirangam in the Ramayana scheme of things, and why is it important for Lord Ram. The story about Vibhishana, the story about the how Sri Ranganatha Swami was the Kuladeva or Kuladeva, Devata of the Ram's family, Ishwaku. So all those stories today, the viewers were rather educated on the fact that the whole political falsehood spread. I'm saying political falsehood because this has been spread by the political leaders of the South. To say, this is Ram is only limited to ये तो उत्तर प्रदेश मध्य प्रदेश मामला है, उत्तर भारत का है. Where is the Lord Ram in any other parts? Sir, there are deities and deities. There are pantheon of gods. But Tamil Nadu has its own quota. I mean, there are Kodanda temple is there all over. And of course, Rameshwaram. So, this is one opportunity where we have seen the Prime Minister's visits have also enabled a lot of us to realize, look, that this consecration in Ayodhya, and Ayodhya itself, the name itself means a place where there is cessation of all wars, all conflicts. The conflicts that arise in our mind. Sir, our religion is always very, very symbolic. Because whether it is Mahabharata, whether it is Ramayana, because there is always an Adhyatmic Ramayana, the spiritual Ramayana where the Sita, Rama, everything is in you. And Hanuman is that pranic energy in us. They are very beautiful, and Ravana is also described as our ego with all its entrapments. That's what makes for 10 head. Such beautiful illustration and such beautiful, I would say, the symbolic essence of the spiritual tradition of why we think, and the Ram himself, Purushottam Ramchandra is himself the Parabrahma Swarupam. So, these are all these things are coming out today, sir. And there has been a spike in sales of books about Ramayana. There is a spike. All over Delhi, in Bombay, in big cities, people are just going up and buying up Ramcharitramanas, stories about Ram. And some of them are, coming with new books to mark this occasion. And sir, Gita Press, which are, they have been publishing Ramcharitramanas for several years. They have run out of their stock. They allowed people to download freely from their website. But there is also a caution, sir, because there are a lot of scamsters are also using this occasion. Some of them are promising through social media, they'll send prasad, they'll send prasad and all these things. And some of them are promising VIP ticket. You send so much of money. And fortunately, the government of India has issued a warning. INB ministry has asked all the website. Even Amazon was asked to take down a particular offer that was made by some bogus company. So, I mean, look, even as all this is happening, there are also people who want to cheat. And to cheat somebody, using their faith is, I would think, the worst sin possible.
So, thank you so much, sir. Couple of things. This is the longest you have spoken, 40 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
40. And I'm wondering, when is he going to take a breath for a sip of water? But it was so absorbing that I didn't have the heart to stop you, sir. Kudos to you. Couple of things, viewers, that you may or may not know. What happened was, remember, Shekharji touched upon Rama performing puja to Shiva before embarking on the to defeat Ravana. Now, what happens at that point of time is Rama asks, look, I can't do this thing. A Brahman has to actually do the puja. I can't do this thing. So who is the Sarvasreshta Brahman? And his advisors told him, it is Ravan. Ravan is your Sarvasreshta Brahman. So Rama sends a message, says, please come and conduct this puja for me. Ravana comes and he does the puja and he says, you will win. So Ravana knew he was going to die at the hands of Rama. Then how do you explain this? Because you have to go back in history to the palace of Lakshmi, where there were two bodyguards by the name of Jaya and Vijaya. So there is a curse by Vishnu because they don't allow him to enter the palace, because Lakshmi would have told them, don't allow anybody. And he kills, I think he kills both of them. I'm not completely clear about it, but they are supposed to take 3 births before they can attain moksha. One set of births is Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Another set is Ravana, and some people say, what is his name? The guy who sleeps for 6 months, Kumbhakarna. Ravana Kumbhakarna is the second pair, or it is Ravana and Mahiravana. Mahiravana is another brother of Ravana. We don't know that, but be that as it may, he does the puja for Rama, he goes back to Sri Lanka, the war starts, and Rama slays Ravana. On the way back, after he comes back to Rameshwaram, Rama performs one more puja, prayashchit for killing a Brahmin. I don't have the actual mentions of this, whether it is Valmiki Ramayana or some other version, but this has been told a lot. I just wanted to add that as a completion for the story. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional here. What you said is very true. Adhyatma Ramayana. Rama lives within us. Rama, Sita, as well as Hanuman, and also our ego. Thank you so much, sir. Now let's take a few questions, if you don't mind. I think we have done most of the analysis thus far. Let's take a few questions now, please. Pawan Kishore wants to know, with TMC not happy and SP aligning with RLD, where does things stand with India alliance?
Well, sir, the alliance is there only for the name's sake, but they are not going to walk away also at the same time. But it's going to be an uneasy kind of setting, sir, because there was one round of talks that had already taken place. But I think it is not getting anywhere because they have not agreed on the number of seats, they have not agreed on the constituencies. They still think there is still, they can take it up later. And in the meantime, Rahul Gandhi's yatra is to touch 100 constituencies, Lok Sabha constituencies. But Congress leaders are not aware which of those constituencies Congress party will put up a candidate. And if you ask questions, we are told, no, 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 this is all okay, doesn't matter. We are going to come together and see the votes won't split. But practically, sir, it doesn't look like this alliance is generating any uh, traction any further, and even people are not bothered as to how they are going to go ahead, because you are seeing with the talks were held with Samajwadi Party and Congress leaders. Ram Gopal Yadav participated on behalf of Samajwadi Party, and you had leaders like Salman Khurshid and others from the Congress side. The whole problem was Samajwadi Party has made it clear they will contest not less than 65 of the 80 seats in Uttar Pradesh. Now, how the rest they will deal? Okay, they can have Amethi, they can have Raebareli also, but and Congress leaders were not very happy because the number mentioned was, look, 65 means there are 15 left. After the 15, you allow RLD was 6 or 7 or 8, and rest is yours. That is not something Congress likes. And Mamata, as the case of Mamata, sir, as good as alliance not happening, though both sides won't say it, at least Mamata won't say it because then she would be accused of trying to help the BJP. But the kind of demand she has made, she says, I will allow BJP, Congress to contest 3 seats in West Bengal, provided you have an agreement with the Trinamool Congress to contest 2 seats in Assam and 1 seat in Meghalaya. This is a demand, the outrightly Congress will not accept.
Next question, please. ARs wants to know, BJP spearheaded the Ram Mandir movement. What is wrong if they take the credit? Why is the opposition blaming them? Your views, sir.
Correct, sir. Because you see, after all, this movement has been going on since 1989, even prior to that. Sir, even prior to that, you had the Virat Hindu Sammelan of Dr. Karan Singh. Then there was Vishwa Hindu Parishad. And at that time, several people, Vishnu Dalmi and all of this were associated. Because every time, that this particular, demand that there should be a magnificent temple of Ram in what is believed to be his birthplace in Ayodhya. And Ayodhya is one of the Moksha Puris. And why not? But the response has been always to be in a state of denial. You had historians who claim themselves to be left historians. They were in total denial of any temple being destroyed. They said, no, this is all Hindu nationalistic, figment of imagination, no basis. When people, sir, have heard all these stories. And there are visible evidence like when you see Qutub Minar or Kashi Vishwanath temple or Mathura, there are several temples. Rather, several places of worship today are treated as mosques. But when you look at their walls, you can see Hindu gods. Now, that itself, sir, over this, what has happened is we have seen even after independence. The last 3-4 generations have also seen why have we been so apologetic about our temples, of our places. Sir, now the big thing that is being challenged is the Places of Worship Act, which the Narsimha government brought soon after Babri Masjid was demolished. Now that act has already been challenged in Supreme Court. Notice has been issued to the center and center has not responded. Now in all the cases, whether it is 𝗼𝗚𝘗𝗍 case or it is Mathura case, Krishna Janmastan case, the place of worship is being challenged. And in some cases, particularly in the case of Mathura, even if you apply the Place of Worship Act, that will not be in the favor of the mosque, because the Place of Worship Act says whatever was, if it is a temple or a mosque, whatever it was at the time of independence, it will. And in the case of Krishna Janmabhoomi, at that time it was still a temple. It was given on lease, and it got converted to mosque. So now all these issues, one is going to, and as far as BJP is concerned, the question comes, they have been part of the movement because it was a political decision in 1989. The BJP passed a resolution in Palampur. And Congress party has been, swinging between denials and then somehow under pressure to do something. Because after the Shahbano case, Rajiv Gandhi was under tremendous pressure. That, he had, the charge was he has pandered to the fundamentalists, to the Muslim clergy. So he had to do something. That's a time in 1985, Sree Iyer, when they realized actually there was no court stay on the Ramlala, no court stay on this the deities that were worshipping the deities. That's why the Rajiv Gandhi government had to open the locks, because when the matter went to the court held there is no the district court said there is, as per our record, there is no court stay. That is how it was opened, and there was a debate. Now, Arun Nehru, being MOS home, and he was a very powerful internal security minister, he advised Rajiv Gandhi. He said, if we go on appeal against the observation made by the district court and insist on the place remaining locked, that will go against the Congress party. But today, sir, what has happened is Shankaracharya has written a book saying that it is all decision taken by Arun Nehru and Rajiv Gandhi was not aware. And he has quoted Rajiv Gandhi as saying that I was not aware how this happened, how the locks were allowed to be opened. I was not told by Arun Nehru. Arun Nehru did not. And Manishankar Iyer concludes in his latest book, which has just been released, that the relationship between Arun Nehru and Rajiv Gandhi nosedived following this episode. But there are others, like Nirja Chaudhary has written a book in where she says Rajiv Gandhi was aware of everything, and Nehru, it is Nehru. Arun Nehru, of course, took the initiative saying, look, Congress cannot, cannot just wish away the wish of thousands of Hindus. You cannot just simply, ignore the an issue that is a matter of faith. And Arun Nehru advised that Rajiv Gandhi took. Otherwise, why would in 1991, at when the elections were announced, he would go to Ayodhya and promise Ram Rajya in his first election campaign speech from Ayodhya? So BJP credit, sir, it will come. Anyway, the credit is there. But the Congress, sir, I think I will like to quote Uma Bharati. Now, Uma Bharati is a very interesting leader, sir. She can come up with some, observations sometimes. Of course, she's always been anti-establishment. I mean, anti-BJP establishment. So she's always gives comment. She was saying in one of the recent interviews, she said, "Look, Sonia Gandhi should have gone to the consecration ceremony because then attention would have been not on the Prime Minister but on her. कि वो क्या कर रही है, हाथ जोड़ रही है, प्रार्थना कर रही है, क्या कर रही है." She could have got attention on herself instead of, now the whole focus will be on Ram Lala, the Lord Ram, Prabhu Ramchandra ji, and of course the Prime Minister. Sir.
Very true, sir. Let's go to the next question, please. Neta Mafia wants to know, if Babri Masjid was not demolished, will Supreme Court have given a verdict easily to demolish a mosque and then build a temple? If no, isn't it a lesson for Hindus for Mathura and Gyanvapi?
No, well, sir, it was a protracted legal battle. Now, what if the mosque had not been destroyed? Because definitely, I know for sure, it was not envisaged by any of the BJP leaders, Advani ji or others, that they had worked on some secret plan. That is what the allegation is. That this yatra was all intended to final demolition. No, it was the car sevaks who had assembled. People from different parts of the country, particularly Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Maharashtra, they did not believe that BJP would actually, take it to the logical course. They rather felt this is an opportunity, we must do what we must do. It was a decision of the mobs. And what secret understanding went into that, one does not know. There have been commission, Lebron Commission went into this. It's one of the longest serving commission, which suggested a conspiracy. But in the courts, you have seen that nobody has been held, that these people, BJP leaders, whether Advani, Uma Bharti, Mulli Joshi, they worked on a plan to get that place demolished. Because I think after the demolition, perhaps, that issue completely underwent a lot of change, and BJP subsequently was in the limbo. So long as the structure existed, it served to point out the injustice done to the Hindus. But once the demolition happened, that rather put BJP on the defensive for a long time.
So a couple of things about this whole thing. December 6, 1992, does the Leverhulme Commission mention the fact that the first hit on the Gumbas of Babri Masjid came from car sevaks who happened to be from Hanumkonda, which is the place from where P.V. Narsimha Rao used to get elected?
No, it says there was a conspiracy. It says people who were there, they were unruly mobs, but they were definitely working to a plan. And Bal Thackeray was the only leader who said, I sent men to demolish it. And today, look at the irony of things, sir. Sanjay Raut, the Shiv Sena, he says, "हम ही तो तोड़े थे, हम ही किए थे, but हमें नहीं बुलाए." Now, how does that party sit in the company of Congress, which is so upset with the Ram Temple? How does it sit in the company of Sharad Pawar? I mean, look at these contradictions. I mean, this is, and they are saying they are fighting for, and still Shiv Sena belonging to Uddhav Thackeray, or whatever is left of that Shiv Sena, which is with Uddhav Thackeray, that is the real Shiv Sena, and that is for secularism. I mean, this is, so that's why I said in the beginning today, this will mark end of this so-called secularism politics, sir.
Viewers, you should read. This is a must-read. A book called Half Lion, which is Narsimha, right? By Vinay Sitapati. his reign as the Prime Minister of India. So I'm not 100% accurate in my recollection, but mota mota I'll tell you. December 6th, 1992, as the demolition was going on, Narsimha Rao had locked himself up in a prayer room and he would not come out and do anything. And the story goes that there were three contenders for the throne of Prime Ministership: Narsimha Rao, Sharad Pawar, and Arjun Singh. Arjun Singh was traveling that day. And Narsimha Rao did not want to make a decision without Arjun Singh being present in a meeting that was going to decide future course of action. So he waited till Arjun Singh landed in Delhi. The cabinet met. That's when they dismissed all those BJP-run governments. There is so much, walking on eggshells that Narsimha Rao had to do. That is very beautifully captured in that book, Half Line. Don't miss it. Sir, your thoughts. How much do you remember what happened on that day, sir?
Sir, definitely, because I subsequently spoke to Narsimha Rao on this. What he told me was, look, I could have ordered the army to go in, and that would have resulted in a kind of military action to prevent the demolition of the structure. But that would have resulted in deaths of so many people, and subsequently rioting would have broken all over the country, and many people would have died, and that would have permanently damaged the relationship between Hindus and Muslims across mohallas, towns, and all that. And I did not think that structure, that the structure that was already crumbling, needed to be protected. Rather, I was more worried about the future of this country. What would have happened if all the Hindus had got very angry, if so many people were killed? Already today, sir, today as the consecration preparations are underway, people are still recalling 16 people who were killed in police firing when Mulayam Singh was in power. Even today, people are talking about it, and people are talking with great pain. And that includes the mother of a person who died in that police firing. Narsimha Rao felt, look, it had reached a point. Of course, he did tell me that he felt that he had made a mistake by believing the promise given by the BJP leaders that the mosque could not be touched. That's why he used the word perfidy. But definitely, Narsimha Rao felt more than the structure being protected, it was important to protect the relationship between the two communities. Any military action, any action would have resulted in not less than at least 1,000 people being killed, sir. So many people were there, crazy mobs, but they had gone well prepared. Where the intelligence had failed, and there was another leader, Sharad Pawar, who was watching it with the help of military intelligence because he was defense minister. And there was Home Minister S.B. Chauhan, who said, I could not contact the Prime Minister. And Madhav Godbole, who was the Home Secretary then, he has written a book also where he says how the destruction of Babri Masjid was destruction of secular credentials of this country. Sir, there is another view, sir, the common view, I'll tell you, the general public. I'm not trying to justify violence, either the demolition or other thing, because the common people say, there were many people I knew who, some of them felt, many Hindus felt that, oh, why destroy a place? I mean, is this the way we have to go about Ram Temple? That question was asked. But people also felt that there are karmas to even buildings. What was built by destruction will have to go by destruction. This logic was also, offered by many people. See, what people were, when the temple was destroyed, there was no television. That was not era of television or social media or anything. Emperor orders demolition and it is done. And whoever does the demolition is again, a new structure comes up. And so many temples were destroyed. And people still, you can see the debates that are happening on television screens today, this evening, is all this. But it was just about three places, Kashi, Mathura, and Ayodhya. There could have been a negotiated settlement. Who spoiled it? Sir, there were many members of the Muslim leadership who were willing for a negotiated settlement. Sir, we could have had a reconciliation commission kind of thing. At least, if it had been acknowledged, yes, there was a time Hindu temples were destroyed. and mosques were built. If this had been acknowledged, I think a lot of the grievance would have been met. Because it was the denial, that denial, that persistent denial, that nothing such thing happened. This is hogwash. And Lord Ram is a mythological character. He does not exist. Figment of image. All this only added to the agony of the devotees who felt, look, what is this country? What is this secularism? And that agony is ending on January 22nd, sir. See, that is the most important thing. Because Hindus are not by nature very aggressive. See, had there only been acknowledgement, but rather than that, you had seculars and liberals cheering for the Babri Masjid Action Committee. कभी फैसला ना आने नहीं दीजिए, मंदिर नहीं बनना है, नहीं बनना है वहां पे. That only hardened the people's stand. And now, even to boycott that consecration, just because you think that Muslims are not upset about that. Because when the verdict came, many community leaders accepted the verdict. Said, okay, janjat ho gaya khatam. Obviously, you could not have had a mosque and a temple side by side. Because that has been the source of friction in Kashi and as well as Mathura and several other places. So I think when you look back, there are times when there is as I said, even just as the karmic theories involving, us individuals and all sentient beings, there are karmic theories for non-sentient beings also. Buildings and structures.
Sir, I have also read in another interview, or I might have listened to someone say this, that Narsimha Rao said, I would never fire at a sadhu, because he was remembering the 1966 incident when Indira Gandhi ordered firing at sadhus, and Karpatri Maharaj had cursed her, just like the way you have killed us, you are going to die at the hands of a gunman. Remember that, sir? Karpatri Maharaj had cursed her.
Yes, because that incident happened in the Parliament Street. They were
Yes.
seeking a ban on cow slaughter.
Yes.
And of course, sir, subsequently, Indira Gandhi, when she came back to office in 1980, she was, I would say, the first of the Hindutva Prime Minister of this country.
Sir, that was all Narsimha Rao, sir. Sir, 1980 post, that government was run by Narsimha Rao. The only thing she obsessed about was how to win elections in Punjab, created this whole monster called Bhindranwala and all that stuff. I mean, this is what they did. Congress, Rajiv Gandhi, I don't know who else sat, I think Bhutta Singh and Harkishan Singh Surjit. These were the people who said that we need to somehow stop the Akalis from coming back to power. That is how that whole thing happened. Anyway, let's not go there, sir. Let's continue here. Ajay Nagendra wants to know, is the BAPS temple in UAE complete, which may lead to some comparisons and toolkit? I'm sorry for bringing this up, but it will be a kind of a blade of grass for people drowning in the muddle.
Well, Prime Minister is going to
February.
UAE. Yes, February next month. He'll be inaugurating a temple there. That is the first temple in the Arab world, huge temple. And it belongs to the Swaminarayan sect, I suppose. And
Yes,
it's going to be a very grand temple. Sir, this is the kind of leadership you are seeing now in the Arab world, both in UAE and as far as Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, welcomed our minorities minister, Smriti Irani. She went up to Medina to see the facilities for the Hajj pilgrims, and she was in a sari. So you can see that even how the Saudi leadership and UAE leadership are responding to the changing times.
Next one, please. Thank you, thought provocateur. Congress using their Sucker Acharya to dupe the gullible poor Hindus is similar to Ravan using Maricha in the garb of a deer to dupe gullible Ma Sita.
Yeah, that's why I said even earlier that Swarupananda, who was Shankaracharya, both Jyotirpit as well as this
Puri.
Dwarka, both. And he was always, he was not in favor of the Ram Temple movement, and he was very close to Digvijay Singh, Sheila Dikshit and others. He used to always plug the Congress line,
Next one, please. Thank you, R.K. Rao, Jai Sri Ram. Thank you, Srinivas MS. With PM temple yatras in Tamil Nadu, how many seats can they expect to add in 2024, especially in the South Belt?
So they are not looking at seats at the moment. And I don't think the Prime Minister is thinking because he makes 2 trips or 3 trips, he's expecting a transformation. But he has sown the seeds for a transformation. That's a point he told the BJP leaders of Tamil Nadu in Rajbhavan yesterday when they met him. That you have to keep doing it. You have to work on the ground. ऊपर ऊपर से काम नहीं होगा, जमीन पर काम करना है.
Sir, at this point, I would beg your indulgence to play one video. Viewers, there are many car yatras happening in the United States. I'm sure other countries will also be doing that. In Houston, there was a 300-car rally. In the Bay Area today, 500 cars are going to be going. It's actually, the event is sold out. In other words, if somebody wanted to, subscribe and get their sticker in, you can't do that. It's a huge event. I'm hoping to cover it. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the starting point. All I'm going to do is to try and go to the starting point so I can flag it off. I can capture the mood of people. I'm going to try that. If it happens tomorrow morning, you will all see it. So before that, I just wanted to play one small video, Shekharji. This took place in Washington, D.C. It was a Tesla car rally. It's not a rally. It's actually Tesla car musical. Just watch this thing, viewers.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. How did they
Thank you, sir.
organize this car rally in such a beautiful way? And
So
Jaya Maruti music is also superb, sir.
thank you so much, sir. This is our own good friend, Dr. Kanix. And today, viewers, you have actually heard so far 4 compositions from Dr. Kanix. 𝗣𝗚𝗍𝗶, that is the signature music of Shekhar Iyer starting. Then you heard Megh. You also heard Jog. And now you've heard Uday Ravichandrika. So a lot of stuff we want to do in our own little way, try and spread our beautiful, beautiful music. And here is the diaspora in Sydney, Australia, gathering to celebrate the upcoming Prana Pratishtha. And here we have in London. And now UK members of Indian diaspora organized a car rally ahead of Ram Temple Pran Pratishtha in Ayodhya. This is everywhere. Edison, New Jersey. This is just a town outside of New York City, 30 miles from New York City. Many people live here, go and work in Manhattan, and all those big companies, all the Wall Street and so on and so forth. Everybody lives in Edison. Edison is one of the bigger Indian diaspora places. Anyway, so a lot of stuff, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. There is only one truth, and that is Ram. That's what my takeaway from this is. Sir, we still have a few more questions to run through. I'm sorry I'm holding you back for a little longer today. There is just so much interest here, sir. Chaitanya Takle wants to know how many parties will use Sri Ram for Lok Sabha?
Sir, I think some of them will use their Sri Ram to attack the BJP. And that will be all these regional parties. Because even Udayanidhi Stalin, has said, no, theek hai, Ram Temple is coming up, but then a mosque was broken. Mosque was destroyed, was broken down. So, but one thing, sir, if the Congress persists with, using the Ram Temple against Modi and the BJP, definitely after some time you're going to see the thick of the election mode, the Prime Minister is going to respond. When he responds, I do not know where the Congress would be looking, because it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very tough.
Yes, indeed. Next one, please. Ajay Ramola, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Jairamandi, thank you once again. You already donated once today, so thank you once again, sir. Sushila ji, thank you so much. Lisham Singh, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. And Chirantan Pinto, can Hindus protect Ram Temple when BJP won't be there in state and center?
Sir, this is such a hypothetical situation. When BJP won't be there in center and state, at least I don't see that happening in the next 5 to 10 years. Because you're going to see 2024 election, just as the Ram Temple consecration is going to be a big milestone and a big game changer in terms of the way our politics will be conducted henceforth. I think for some more time, BJP will remain a dominant force unless the non-BJP parties can think of a viable alternative, an alternative in ideas, and an alternative in terms of programs and policies, and tackling some of the challenges that India face as a nation, as a strategic partner of the world, as a developing economy. There are several aspects to that which I find. I'm not saying that the Prime Minister Modi has all the answers. I'm not saying that the BJP has all the answers. But at least they are talking of some solutions. You hear every speech of the Prime Minister in all the frontier areas of challenge today, whether it is artificial intelligence or semiconductors, all areas you take. There is a particular view how we should go about. We haven't heard a similar thing from Rahul Gandhi. So that is why his close BlackBerry buddy, Milind Deora, said, look, people are telling me, what is this our party got reduced to? We don't talk of alternative policies. We don't talk of how to go about it. If PM says India should become Atmanirbhar, that the whole the Congress jokers go about mocking it as if that concept itself is wrong. No, if you find that because the concept is that the Prime Minister today is talking about is something that every Indian will agree. Why is Congress mocking that?
Yes, indeed. And a couple of corrections, viewers. First of all, it was Kumaras who cursed Jaya and Vijaya, not Vishnu. That is, you are right, guys. I wanted to kind of give you, look, this is not something that I rehearse or I prepare for. These are all things that trigger your thoughts in your mind. Sometimes some of the facts may be wrong. Also, I want to clarify that it was the Maldivian foreign minister that Dr. Jaishankar met at the non-aligned movement meeting today. Sometimes, someplace in Africa, it is happening. This came in Sridhar Chityala's Daily Global Insights 441. It is not Mauritius foreign minister, it was Maldivian foreign minister. Just wanted to clarify that for viewers. We will put that also as a clarification in the video at the very top of the comment section also. So, Shekharji, it has been a most enlightening session, and thank you so much, sir. And I can see how much you have also, emotionally got involved in this thing. This is the third episode today that I'm doing in a matter of 4 hours, and there is a couple more, that's going to be happening over the course of the day today. So viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You know why you come to 𝗣𝗚𝗄. You come to 𝗣𝗚𝗄 because we offer something unique. Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar.